Welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Now, let's hear from our host, Andy Albright.
Woohoo! What's up, people?
Hey, Andy.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
About to jump out of my skin. I'm so excited. Do you all ever get you feel like, how do I describe it? It's not depressed, but you're just like, God, what am I doing? And then, you get this other time, you're like, God, I'm fired up out of my mind.
All the time, Andy. It's like an emotional roller coaster.
You would think that I'm not like that, right? I don't think I've found anybody who honestly is not like that. But it's the ability to not do something really stupid when you're feeling bad. You with me? You've heard me pitch this before. Make decisions to do something when you're really excited and positive. Okay? Because if you make decisions when you're depressed and down, you're going to make a depressed and down decision. That makes sense. That's what the depressed and down you would do, but not what the optimistic you would do.
Right.
Now, I will tell you one thing that I'm not, that a lot of people are, is around people. I'm never depressed and down. Yeah, right? And I started doing this a long time ago. Really, it would be an Amway, but it's carried through in this. I might have done it before, but I remember what do you call it? Directly focused effort to be like this. It's like you can never be down around your people. You just can't. Football coach can't come in at halftime and go, the hell beat out of us first half. This second half's going to be rough. I mean, you can't do that. That'll get you fired. You know what I mean? But people do that. We got this one guy in our company, and he's kind of annoying because he's always mad about something, asking for this. He wishes everything was free. He wishes he had a higher commission. He wishes we'd fly to his city all the time. I mean, this is just annoying. But this joker is never negative around his downline. We're all like, at least he's never negative around his downline. He's annoying to talk to sometimes, most of the time, because he's always asking for something like, hey, is there any way we could skip this rule and I get a promotion? Could skip, it's just like, God almighty, you're annoying. So a lot of times you don't take his phone call. But the good news is he's always positive around his downline. I don't know where he learned that. Maybe he's scared his wife will kill him. Something, I don't know. I like people going like, oh, yeah. Okay, so one trick for me is, since I'm always happy around people, just get around people and everything changes, Marcus. Right. Including my wife. Get around my wife. We go out to dinner, go out to lunch. We've been doing early lunches / dinners, and we always have a good time.
Right.
So one thing is the other thing is, if you just go do something, don't wait until you feel like it. Just go do something, and then the feel change. The feel changes. But when I walk in a room, y'all see me. My staff kind of sees me sometimes when I'm calm, but then when I go to walk in a room, I'll do this a couple times, and it's on like Donkey Kong. I got to bring it. I got to bring the avatar that works. Mm-hmm. All right. So I texted out. I said, these are top people in the country. These are people that I'll know are doing the system right. They got money in the bank. They want to get wealthy. This is the 3 couples that I have here. None of them are perfect because none of them are Jesus. I don't know if any of y'all have ever been told that you ain't Jesus, because I've been told that, and I always like, I know. But these are 3 couples that you can copy aspects of their life and be more successful. not everything in their life, but aspects. Okay. And, I would tell people that their job is to copy you in what you're doing right. We're going to try to tell them what we're doing right, and we're not going to share what we're doing wrong today. We're going to tell what we're doing right. Everybody agree with that?
Fair.
Yes.
It's a lot more fun talking about what we're doing right. So, let's. It's scary that my wife left me here alone with the dogs. So if you can hear them barking, if they get too annoying, not smart. I'm not good to be left with babies, making sure that they, don't jump off of the cliff or dogs don't. But anyway, all right. So I will mute me, and I'll turn it over to Marcus and Karla. If y'all just give a high level, maybe about 3 minutes to 4 minutes about who you are, family, kids, education, marriage, stuff like that. Marcus and Karla.
Absolutely. So we are Marcus and Carla Richardson out of Aurora, Colorado. We have been married 19 years, been together 22 years. We were high school sweethearts. When we got married, we had 2 babies. Adriel, he is my son. He's 15. And then Maya is 13. She will be 14 in May. And just loving life, we, like Andy was saying at the beginning of this, the roller coaster. My wife is a stay-at-home mom, which is a full-time job, by the way. I stopped saying that my wife doesn't work, because taking care of the house, taking care of me, it's it's a challenge in itself. And when we first started the business, Carla worked with me heavily in the business until we had money for staff, but she was the admin, calling carriers, getting stuff issued up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning with me, grinding it out, coaching me on my recruiting from a distance, coaching me on my calls and my mindset from a distance, but just loving me the whole way. And I tell people this all the time, but it was Carla's belief in me that allowed me to take this leap of faith and become an entrepreneur, because she said, I believe you can do it. So that's a little bit about us. Before I was with the Alliance, I did sales with another insurance company. But before that, I was in sales doing hospitality stuff for hotels. And Carla, I'm going to let you speak. Tell me a little bit about what you do.
Hey everyone. I'm very nervous, by the way. But it's good to be here. It's an honor to be with you all. I think this is my first time ever being on a TWC, but it's just exciting and honored to be here. We have come a long way. It's been 11 years for us, and I live a really blessed life. And I say that because it's an honor to have a husband who has allowed me to stay at home with our children. I serve our family. It has allowed me to serve my parents in the most difficult times for us. When my dad was passing, it's Marcus's commitment to our family, and just to keep pushing and to keep growing, that has allowed me to just care for the people that I love the most. So what I do is I run Adriel back and forth to practices, dance, track. I'm able to take care of my mother, and now we have a new baby. We have a dog. We adopted my mom's dog. So that's what I've been doing, is trying to just get him in a routine. But we've been really blessed just to be here and just to be a part of this family.
Absolutely. Andy, that's some more coaching I need on the dog. You might have to help.
It's too late now. You skipped my coaching when you got the dog. We love dogs, so I can't, Jane will kick my butt if I say anything bad about it. What kind of dog do you have?
It's a poodle. It's a little miniature poodle. He's 11 years old, no teeth. He's cute, but he's a handful.
Yes. He's like right here on her feet. It is good. It's been a blessing. It's my dad's dog, so we adopted him.
Yes. Oh, and to be clear, Maya's the one going to dance, not Adriel.
Yes.
My daughter dances.
Yes.
Adriel plays football. You're doing fine, baby. And she kept saying how nervous she was, and I'm like, baby, we're just talking to Andy. It's like the dinners and normal conversations. I didn't know Carla has never been on a national call.
I would have shocked me when she said it, but well, welcome to your first TWC call. So far, you're doing great. Don't mess it up.
Thank you. No pressure.
Pressure. How old are the kids?
Maya's 13. She'll be 14 in May, and Adriel just turned 15. And Adriel is a hustler. He just started. I don't know if Marcus had shared with you guys recently, but he's cutting hair. He is cutting hair, and he's making nice money. I think he made like $80 in one day. Has lined up appointments on the weekends, and he's trying to figure it out. So I just love it that he's trying to be an entrepreneur.
I love it. That is exciting. So I'm gonna keep asking you questions. I'm gonna come back and I'll be pitching advice to you couples because I mean, clearly, y'all are some of my favorite people in the world. Is everybody going to Ireland?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Because sometimes even the earned spouse can't go for whatever reason or whatever strategy. Sometimes only one goes. Sometimes both of you go. I like it, but when both of you go because it's just a huge networking opportunity. I call it working while we're in Ireland, working while we're in Atlantis, working while we're in New Zealand. I just work in fabulous locations. Like when I'm on a private jet, we're working on a private jet. We're working while we're having a bottle of Camus. You know what I'm saying? We're just working, eating differently in different cities. To be clear, the whole thing. I was just talking to this young lady, and I was saying, it's like playing 3-dimensional Monopoly to me. It's just a dadgum game that we play with real money. And it's not like, I love craps, but it's not like craps where you know you're going to lose your money. You know you're going to make money here. You absolutely know it. But it's a game. The question is, are you going to make $1 or are you going to make $60 million? Like if you lose money, you are not a good game player. Like something's wrong with you. Like you're not smart. So I would say this out for, the government agencies that ever look. Nope, you can't. Not everybody can do this. Dumb people will fail. Bad. Now, so I'm dumb. What do I do? Well, you're going to have to get smart if you're going to be successful with us because dumbs don't do it. Lazy people can't do it. Lazy people, scared people that are afraid, they can't do this. Not Fred, but afraid. Afraid. I don't know how Northerners say it. We say afraid. Afraid. Okay. Scaredy cats. Okay. They can't do it. So bold, aggressive, smart, way better. Okay. So if you're bold, aggressive, and smart, way better. So I think that will be a good introduction for Dan and Deanna because they were talking about how they were not bold, aggressive, and smart. Not dumb, but just I'll let them tell you, but a little bit about just y'all's family background, where you're from, education, stuff like that.
Thanks, sir. Dan and Deanna Mirdo. We are here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Deanna was born and raised in Russia. We actually met in Myrtle Beach, and we've been married 12 years. And so she's full-time, just like Karla, full-time stay-at-home mom. Obviously all her family's still in Russia. All my family's still in Pittsburgh. So, everything's on her. She's, there is no grandparent support outside of, flying our parents in. And so we've been with the Alliance for about 5 years now. And yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Is we came into this broke, disgusted, beat up, scared, afraid, all of them. And it's through the system and through your mentorship and Adam Katz and Beth Katz, everything that we've been taught here applies not only to our business life, but our personal life, our financial life. And the biggest thing for me is books, books like this one, books like this one, and obviously this one, right? It's those, in my opinion, those are the 3 best books I've ever read. And I'll let Deanna speak about our journey and what she has to say, but
yeah, how he said, we've been married for 12 years and it's the first time that I had an opportunity to actually be home for past. My mom was with us for a while, but 4 months ago she left and I stayed home for 4 months with kids, which is was great because money is still coming. Even if I don't work, we still make money, which is strange, but I'm getting
Strange
used to
is
it.
a good word.
Yeah, I'm getting used to it. I like it. But definitely it's all mentorship, that helped to become who we are. And like I said last time too, we just always listen. It took us much longer than some people to get it, but still got it.
And Andy, a quick little story is yesterday, we decided to get a house cleaner. You've always been harping on that for years and years. We finally decided to do it, and we found one that was highly recommended to us. Deanna, felt comfortable with them, wanted to go with them, and so she called yesterday. We had to have it done yesterday just because my mom's flying in to babysit when we go to Ireland, and with our schedule, it had to be done yesterday. And we called the girl and basically said, hey, I'm all booked up. Can't do it today. And she gets off the phone, and I could tell she's almost upset because she knows that she's going to have to do it. Right. And she's going to have to cancel her plans. And I said, well, just call them back and offer them more money. Right. And so she called back and just said, hey, I'll give you $100 more. And they thought about it for about 5 seconds and said, we'll see you in 15 minutes. Done.
Ah, that gives me cold chills. Like, that's what I call a miracle for $100, right? Like, what would you pay for a miracle? I'd pay $10,000 for a miracle. So getting one for $100 is like, you got a miracle for $100. Let me ask you something, Deanna. Were you happy?
Very, very happy.
That's also what I call a miracle.
It's true.
That's the miracle I was talking about. For $100.
For
Happiness.
about 10 minutes, I was happy. Though I found something else to be unhappy.
Well, that's your job. Apparently.
I know.
Apparently, that's your job. Not all of y'all are alike, but I'm not saying that. I'm moving on. What a miracle for $100. Okay, so let me tell y'all this. Advice for couples. Backup cleaners. Backup babysitters. Backup maintenance people. Everybody needs backups. Okay? Backup secretaries. You don't even know how your maintenance guy is until your other maintenance guy come in. You don't even know how your secretary is until the other secretary comes in. You don't know how good your house cleaners are until the other house cleaners come in. I'm not kidding. I don't even want to talk about accountants and attorneys. Lord have mercy. Backup accountants, backup attorneys. You got to have backups. If you don't have a backup, you ain't got one. Hey, if you ain't got a backup jet, you ain't even got a jet. That's why I got a backup jet. I don't be without a jet. When my jet's broke, what are you going to do? I'm going to take my other jet. But if your house cleaner can't come, call your other house cleaner. So I don't know if they'll be as good. Me neither. Go try somebody else when you're not under pressure. You're under pressure, give them $100. But go get somebody else for next time. They might be better for less. I'm not kidding. Now, here's the thing. This is cold-hearted, though. Well, I like the ones we got. I hear you. Try another one. Does that make sense? Now, here's what people say, like, well, I think. Okay, keep thinking. I'm old. You thinking. I'm telling you the answer. I've played the game. You draw this card, here's the answer. You know what I'm talking about? Do y'all know if you're like if we played Monopoly, I'll be like, buy it or don't buy it. Or cash flow quadrant. I don't sit there and think. And then if you start telling me, I go like, or if you go to a card and they said, Andy, we can get this stock for 4 pennies. Should we buy it? I go, yeah, I'd buy at least $1 million worth because there's another card in the deck that it turns into $1. And you go, how you know? I played the game before. Listen, let me show you the cards. Pick up the cards and say, see, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's the same way with housekeepers. If you don't get a backup, it's going to happen again. Then they're going to want 200. And they're going to happen again. They're going to want 300. But if you get a backup, now they got pressure on them. Keep the price the same. Plus, you got a backup. Does that make sense? Same thing with babysitters. In-laws are awesome, or mother-in-laws, daddies to fly them in. to babysit. It's wonderful. Who's your backup? Because they're old. They're going, listen, they're going to die. That's what happens when you get old. Like, heads up. I hope I'm good friends with y'all. I'm going to die one day. Seriously. I hope you cry, but let's move on. My kid's going to party. They were like, oh my God, now we in charge. I go, oh God. But you hear what I'm saying is they're going to get sick. They're going to get older. That's just what, you with me? And the more you know something's going to happen, the less you panic. Like if you're riding down the road, you go, Deanna, we got a bump coming. Easy, baby. Okay. But if you're just riding along, putting your lipstick on and you bump, and lipstick goes up through your eye and you're like, what the hell? What are you doing? Can't you drive? But if you tell them it's a bump, it's like everybody's calm. My pilots will turn around and go, hey, heads up. Got some turbulent weather coming up. Probably lasts about 10 minutes. All good. Versus you just ride along, that plane goes, like everybody goes, what the heck? I'll be like, oh, we're going down. Everybody's in a panic. You with me? Does that make sense? It's going to happen. And there's other backups you got to have for too. By the way, let me just tell you this, you need more money. You need more. One more. I'm going to call you Kyle Harry for a change to see if I can shake you up a little bit, Prince.
I like
Kyle, and I'm going with Nina this time.
Works.
As opposed to Janina. Kyle and Nina.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about 3 minutes.
All righty. Well, I'm Nina. This is Kyle Harry. We're directed to Jason Olga Matis. I'm down here in St. Augustine, Florida. I was born and raised in Germany, lived there 26 years of my life and came to America in 2012. Like a bunch of different jobs over there. I did my master's in hospitality management. But before that, I worked on, I went to Switzerland and would do 6 months of work over there to whatever they were asking for, if it was housekeeping or if I was serving tables or no matter what was available, I would just go in a different country and work for the season. So wintertime where the snow is at, and in the summertime, where the sun is at. So Italy and France in summer, and then Austria and Switzerland in the wintertime. And yeah, I grew up in a little village. Actually, only about 1,000 people used to live there. Now they're growing, they're producing. They're
1,000 souls. Gotta say it right.
Say it again, Kyle.
1,000 souls in that village, Andy.
Mm-hmm. Everybody likes that one. So
I've been there. It's a nice little village.
You been?
I've been there. Brookhausen. Yes.
With Nina?
Oh yeah.
Last year, that was a blast. He was looking around.
It's like out of the Truman Show or something. It's like not real. It's one restaurant, the whole village.
You're seeing those science fiction where they put something on a head and then it just plays the cool or the crazy things in your head. Like, I'd just like to do that and just see Nina going to these countries as a seasonal worker and what she was thinking and what happened. I bet there would be some funny scenes.
Oh man. Yeah.
Scary scenes.
I've seen I will never forget.
Scary scenes. Some scary scenes.
Mm-hmm.
People are crazy, Andy.
In every country.
Everywhere. Any time of the day. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But after every season I would go back home into my village and I'd be like, man, it must be something bigger and better than this. And then I went on a cruise ship, and I worked on a cruise ship for 6 months, where you work like 7 days a week, 12, 14, 16 hours a day, until your job is done. And in the morning and then in the evening again with a little break in between. I loved it. It was super nice. People think, I was like the hospitality director or something, front desk, would do something nice, customer service. But I was actually the girl that, would be cleaning the entire cruise ship. Like I would have suites that I would clean every day, and then the bathrooms, the restaurant. People
Nina.
get seasick.
Nina, did
Yes.
you have a master's degree in hospitality management from Germany
Yeah.
when you're doing these jobs?
Actually, I was always pretty good saving up my money. So when I came back from the cruise ship, I had enough money saved up to pay for my master's degree. So I did that after. Yeah.
Okay. So you saved up money to pay for your master's degree. So how did that help you? Once you got your master's degree, did that help you get to the States?
Yes. Yeah. Once I had that in my pocket, I was brave enough then to apply in a hotel in Miami Beach, and my English was terrible. Oh my God, I wouldn't even a resume in English. I was Googling German hotel in Miami. That was my dream, to go there, and I thought there must be like a German-owned hotel somewhere.
That's a good idea.
Right?
It's really a good idea.
So I found one, and I wrote my application completely in German, ignorant, thinking I would get a job. And then I did. They called me back. And they said, yeah, we have an internship in revenue management. And mind you, I was writing them, I do whatever you guys want me to. Like, whatever is available, I do. Revenue management, I was like, that sounds nice too, huh? So that was pretty cool. And then once I had that info that I'll be going to America, I sold everything. The apartment that I lived in, I had like a garage sale and put that in a newspaper. Newspaper back then, 2012. And people would come and they would pick up all my stuff, my car, sold everything.
I'm not coming back.
I was not going to come back. My mom was
You've been around the world. Have you seen another country you'd rather live in the United States?
No.
If the United States shut down, where do you think you would go? Where would you want to go? If it just was shut down, we're out.
I would go to Puerto Rico or Hawaii. Still where
I like the Bahamas.
Passport, because any of Bahamas now.
I like the Bahamas.
Oh yeah.
Jamaica,
Bahamas, but Puerto Rico. If it shut down, that'd be I don't know if that's really a part of the United States, but
yeah,
I don't know it caused it to shut down, but Africa.
Oh.
Have you been to South Africa? Zimbabwe? Anywhere in Africa?
It's on the bucket list.
In my imagination, I was there.
I might go. That might be where I would pick. Hunting 24/7. Tons of available people for work.
Also true.
But I like to ask people like you to have been to different places. Like Paris, no way. Italy, no way. Greece, no way. No way.
To visit, but not
to visit, but I only like to visit the tourist, beautiful, wonderful places. I do not want to go in the bad places.
Right.
But I love the bad places in Africa. Like out in the woods. So, all right. Harry, who's talking about the kids?
I could talk about the kids.
All right.
So before I came into the picture, Nina had Lily. I always say she's number one in sales in the house. You think Nina's good? Lily is great, man.
How old is Lily now? How old is she now?
9. She'll be 10 in August.
Okay.
But I'd say she's 9 going on 19, Andy, because she's acting like it, man. Super smart, sharp as heck. When we tell her no, she finds out a way to get a yes. She overcomes any objection.
You should incentivize that.
Carla know what I'm talking about. Shaking their head like, yep.
You should incentivize that.
Oh, I do. I love it. My mother, she gets mad, and I'm like, no, don't get mad. Like, I love it. I want her to do that stuff.
Right.
It's gonna develop her when she gets older.
Right. She's going to need them skills.
Yes. So I love it when she does that stuff. We encourage it. We like her to make her own decisions, make choices. So she's 9. I legally adopted her last year, April, right? So she's been in my life 4 years now. Me and Nina been married a year and 5 months, just about. So we got some talking to do with Marcus and Carla because they got some experience over us. So we're gonna be talking in Ireland. Believe that. Nice round of drinks.
I've been coaching from Andy. You might want to talk to Andy. He's got 30 years on all of us. So you might want to talk.
That's true. That's true. I go direct to the source. Talk to you, Andy. I think we got a dinner planned over there in Ireland. Look forward to that. So
you know what they say about preachers, right? If we have to wait for that preacher to tell us, we have to wait for him to be perfect before he tells us to be perfect. We ain't gonna get to hear much preaching.
That's true. 100%.
That's right. So yeah, our other daughter is Kailani. She just turned 1 in February. She's been a blessing, man. So even with her being born and raising her, we still focused on the business, grew our business, helped more clients than ever. Finished number 2 in total sales last year in the entire company. So I mean, it's like there's no excuses. You know, when we got a new agent making excuses about this, that, and the other, it's like you got no kids, you got no wife, like. You don't have any excuses, man. Like, what's holding you back? What's on your back right now? Like nothing. So let's go. So I mean, and that's really.
How do y'all do the business now? As far as like, do you both sell? Do you both recruit, or is one of you doing like?
So now more than ever, we're both selling and both recruiting. I'm more on the recruiting side, but I'm also selling. Nina's more on the selling side, but she's also helping with the recruiting. So it's we're seeing the fruits of the labor pay off. Like Jared and Rachel are just blowing up. They're over in London right now with Olga and Jason Mathis, just having a good time. Like super proud of them and what they're doing. I'm sure you've seen the recruiting numbers, Andy. It's crazy, man. We recruiting, brother. And then Jared and Rachel's downlines, Ruth and Tim are also recruiting like crazy. So better watch out, man. We coming strong. So
any tips how you're, the recruiting's blowing up? Any tips like how is it anything different than anybody else is doing?
I would say, it's really important to have it on your schedule, because I know how I can get like drifted away of that I'm just going to be selling every day. So I have Monday, Tuesday for sales, Wednesday. So today is recruiting, and then Thursday and Friday is sales again. So I have like one day that I block out just for that. And now that it's in my schedule, intentionally not going to put sales there. So I follow up, with the agents that we already have. And I also do recruiting calls, but like intentionally, so I start calling through the entire list, whoever, if you sold something or not, if you're recruiting or not, doesn't matter. I'm going to talk that day for sure with everybody, at least once a week.
So anything different than we got President's Club booking interviews? Indeed, I hear is working. It's until you get kicked off. If you have a physical address, if somebody has a business, like if you have a friend that has a PNC business, or right, rather than a house, I think you can get away with it. ZipRecruiter now don't care. They're letting us run ads like crazy. Any of that?
Yeah, a little bit of that, as well as social media, posting what we're doing. We're looking for help. We want you to join us on these crazy trips. That gets people questioning things and sending direct messages to us. And then we got people in class from that, warm market. So a little bit of everything works. State license list, already licensed agents. Mm-hmm.
So I got a lady watching right now. Here's what we did. I had some tickets, and I told Jessica, I said, I don't really want to sell them for $300-400, make $300-400. I'd rather just give them away for free. So those people, one of the persons saw that and then started following, and then finally reached out and said, hey, looks like fun that y'all having. So that's working. She just texted me. She's watching. Just talked to her today. But let me tell you what's working, aggressively working on Instagram or Facebook, is if you would pay somebody, and this is hard, By the way, one of the hardest things about being rich is giving up privacy, and people can steal from you. Like, remember that guy that we had on here, and he's like, I'm not letting anybody come in my house and steal from me. And I was laughing. I was like, what are you going to steal? You ain't got no money. You know what I mean? Like, but they can, they can steal your pistol, or they can steal your flip flops, right? Well, if you give somebody your passcode to your social media, I tell you what happened to me. It was bad. It wasn't bad, but it could have been bad. Because so I've given my social media my staff clearly has access, so they could screw me if they want to, right? But what we do, before I tell you the funny story, what we do is if I messaged every one of your friends, Nina, first of all, you can't do 1,000, but let's say every day I sent 10 messages to your friends. And I said, I work with Nina, and I put your tagline.
Mm-hmm.
We're expanding, and Nina suggested you might be good if you're open-minded. Then when they answer me back, I go, Nina, this one's interested.
Uh-huh.
So I'm aggressively hitting your people, but they go to my site, which is real impressive, but then I push them back to you. Does that make sense? So like just today, we had a guy, I think he's watching, Colby. He's a friend of Kenzie's, but I messaged him from my social media. And when he messaged me back, I asked for his phone number, but I'm also pushing him to Kenzie. So he sees my credibility, but I'm pushing him to Kenzie. Does that make sense? So it's me messaging. So I'm doing it with Kenzie, I'm doing it with Merv, and I'm doing it with Angela. And every day we're putting people in class. Every day. It's just not, but we're sending 50 messages a day. So like if I were you, Nina, I would pay somebody to send out 50 DMs to your friends. I would pay somebody from your website. I mean, from your Facebook or from your, now if you don't, by the way, who say, oh, I'm going to build a social media. No. Don't waste time building social media. But if you already have one, I would take advantage of it. Because if you grow one, it's going to be mostly agents. You see what I'm saying? But if you already had one, so please don't hear me saying build social media. That's heck no. Okay? You can pay $10,000 and have 1 million followers. That's worthless. Those people are, that's fake. Don't fall for that. When people go, I'll help you build it. No, they're not. They'll pretend like they're doing something, and they'll just buy them for 3 pennies, and it's worthless. I can tell you a little bit more about that. We've experienced all this. But DM aggressively going for people. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yep.
It's really insane working. Here's what you want people to do. Pick up the phone and call all their friends. But nobody does that anymore. But DMing friends, and I can give you a script in 10 seconds. Like if you DM me and say, I want a script, I'll give you a script. But you'll be surprised how simple it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Killing PC recruits. We're killing it with that. ZipRecruiter's working great. And everybody that gets Indeed to stay up, it's working great. Like great. So I'd say try it. True that?
All right, true that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so anybody wants more, Jessica can help you. Hannah can help you. Patrick can tell you what we're doing, or me if you can catch me. All right. So Marcus, you have a staff. Do y'all have? Let's go back and hold on, Nina. Tell me about your staff. How many have you hired people? Oh, I want to tell the audience this. So, no hype. Mirdo has had $64,000 deposited in his checking account, and we're March 29th. So if you do 64 divided by 3, you're at 21,000 a month. If you multiply 21,000 times 12, it's 250,000, right? True that? Not bad. Marcus Richardson. No, let's do Nina. Nina and Kyle have had 78,000. So if you do 78,000 divided by 3, that's 26,000 a month times 12. That's 312,000 that you guys are on track to make. Of course, you think it's going to go up, but I'm saying if it don't change, you're on track to make 312. Richardson, $79,130 divided by 3 months because it's March, right? 26,300 a month times 12. He's on track to make 316,000. So not bad, 250 to 312,000. This is not our highest paid people in the country, but this is really great, good money starting to come in. So one of my goals is to triple these couples. I want to triple your money. I don't think it's that hard. But me and Marcus, I've been screaming at Marcus a lot lately. And I think I feel
Carla
like
said thank you.
help. What'd she say?
She said thank you.
It's hard, Carla. I mean, I tell people work is hard because you have to think about somebody else's life and you have to take a minute to talk to them. You're not just, here's what I hate it when people do. Call me if I can help you. These managers that say that, just call me if I can help you. You don't even know what your problem is to call about. Like, it's just like Kathy and Fred. You know, I was like, y'all got a house cleaner? No, get one. And then he's like, no, I'm not letting anybody in my house. I was like, dude, you're holding yourself. You know, I'm like, it's hard to talk to somebody and tell them stuff that they need to do because, oh, thank you. Come say hey to my friends.
Hey, friends.
There she is. Hey, Jane.
I've been watching y'all.
Hey.
And here's Pepper.
Did you hear they got a puppy?
Oh, they got a puppy? I didn't hear that part.
Marcus and Carla got a puppy. They adopted an 11-year-old poodle that was her daddy's.
Oh, sweet.
Is
Y'all ready for Ireland?
Yes.
Yes. Well, mentally, we're not packed yet, Jane, but mentally, we're ready.
Yeah, same here. I started yesterday. It's I don't know. I don't know about packing.
Looking forward to seeing you.
This is Andy's dog.
This is my dog.
He has
That's a
the
beautiful
same
dog.
personality as Andy.
No. So Pepper will bite you, huh?
Wide slap open.
Pepper will bite you. Just playing, he'll bite you.
High
Y'all.
octane. See ya.
Okay. All right. So also I want to let the country know that these are 3, 4, if you want to count Kyle. Deanna's not, Myrda's not selling much, is she? Your wife's not.
No, she's not. I mean, she's pretty much full-time stay-at-home.
Okay. So 4 of the best salespeople in the country being Marcus, Nina and Kyle and Dan. So Marcus, you've recently had Valerie start kicking in. I mean, she went from 0 to, I don't know, 20,000 a month, right?
Correct.
Can you tell us what she changed? Because we got a lot of people out there that are writing $2,000, $3,000, and she changed something and started writing 20 grand.
Well, she's a leader, one, so she doesn't need much maintenance, if that makes sense. But her and her husband, Brandion, just took ownership of their business. And so they've been doing a lot of, so they do like marketing where they go to like their football games. Their son plays football and he also does like track. So they're talking to the people that are in those circles. They're also doing some social media stuff too. But it's allowing her to be able to talk to more people. And so that's the biggest thing is she's just been talking to more people and she's already a good salesperson. So the results are in the numbers.
Is she not using any leads right now?
None.
Did she try leads?
Yeah, she did. So Valerie's been with us a year. So the whole first year she did leads, in-home appointments, face-to-face, that whole thing. But then they've switched a little bit at the beginning of the year and been doing more of the Zoom and kind of social media and their warm market. And that's what they've been doing. And it's funny you mentioned that because I talked to them a couple of days ago and I said, I really want to find out what they're doing. And I told Carla, I said, baby, when we're in Ireland, I want to pick Valerie and Brandion's brain to figure out exactly what they're doing and their setup. So
they're doing good. I was it yesterday I spoke with them, did I tell you?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah. It's just a game, guys. It's 3-dimensional Monopoly. For people that are brand new getting started, direct mail final expense leads, Marcus, what's some tips you would give them out of the gate? Brand new, final expense, burial leads.
The first thing is get them. Make sure you're consistently. And here's the thing I noticed on the trips: most people that I know that go on trips heavily invest in leads. So if you're wanting to duplicate what they're getting and the results that people are getting, is the first thing would be get more leads than you need, because the more people you talk to, the better chance you have of actually making sales. So that would be number one. And then number two is get some coaching. So don't, one of the mistakes that I used to make is just give people leads and say, hope it works, good luck. But people have never called leads before. They've never got any training. And so in our group, we've been really focused on, okay, how do you actually book appointments, right? That's 80% of our battle. So get leads, have a schedule, call the leads, and then get coaching as you're calling. So that way you can get better at actually booking the appointments and seeing the people. And the rest will work itself out in regards to in-home, how to close it and stuff like that. But to me, the lead is what, exploded my business, because I didn't have leads. I didn't have anybody to talk to. And so without anybody to talk to, you have no person to legitimately have a chance to sell to. So when you got me started, you started me with leads, and don't be afraid to get all of them. Because people say, well, I just want the new ones. But if you're broke and can't afford the new ones, you got to get what you can afford. So get what you can afford. If you have a manager that's willing to invest in you, like Andy did for us, have those conversations. But I would just say, get as many as you can afford starting out. Even if you can't afford them, get a little bit extra, if that makes sense. So you got to put it on a couple cards or whatever, because the return on investment is crazy. You can order $200 worth of leads and write $5,000 in premium and bring home $2,500. Like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. So that would be when you say advice for new people, get them, put them in your schedule to call them, get coaching as you're calling them, and just get after it.
It's funny what you say about Valerie, because what we'll do is, I hope she's listening. She tried leads, did okay with them, didn't lose money, did okay, made some money. Then she started with her warm market because she understood what was going on, which is a little bit backwards, but then it's taking off. I promise you, this won't last. Leads will last. You with me? So we got to get her back into leads, because you can't, you only have so many, you only know 300 people. And then once you sold to 40 of them or 50 of them, it's a different game. Leads, on the other hand, 22 years, it's been miraculous. I was scared to death leads will end, but they've not ended. Actually, we got more leads than we've ever had, which is bizarre, but it is true. So we got to get them back on it. See, part of the business, Karla, is being the baboon in the tree and looking down at the other animals and saying, hey, water's over there, black mamba over there, or the two-step. You know what two-step is? Snake bites you, you take 2 steps, you're dead. You're like, oh, there's a snake over there? Yeah, there's a snake over there. Don't go over there. Water's over here, briars are over there, bad guys are over here. So you're telling people what's coming. Does that make sense? And sometimes in the tree, I'm up in the tree looking down, and it looks, I can't tell exactly, but I'm pretty sure there's a lion going to get you if you go around that way. Right? Does that make sense? So one of the things that you can do, Deanna, Mirdo, Karla, is talk to the wives about what will happen, because you've been through it. I went over this earlier. There's a bump in the road. The wives will feel better if you talk to them. Does that make sense? So, I was encouraging Marcus to start talking to Valerie's husband. It's not Desmond. Brandion. You told me. It's my son-in-law with Eon on it. Brandion. So, Valerie's husband, Brandion. Start talking. So, you're talking to both of them, because they're talking to each other when they leave you. So if he's talking to Valerie, she goes and talks to Brandion, and then Brandion is going to have input, because heck, he's sleeping in the same bed she's sleeping in. He's going to have input. So if you can't talk to him a little bit, and so anytime you recruit somebody, Nina, you got to talk to the spouse. And the sooner, so if you're dealing with a girl and you can get Kyle to talk to the husband, he will say, well, I've been wondering something. Why? Boom. When they do that, you got them. Does that make sense? You've been telling this girl about leads. You've been telling her about April 21, 22, 23. And he says, why y'all so hyped up on this convention? And you get to pitch him. But if he don't ask you, you don't get to pitch him. Well, if you don't talk to him or know him, he ain't going to ask you. He's asking her. And now you got the baby feeding, you got the toddler feeding the baby. The husband's the baby. The wife is a toddler because she's brand new in the business, but the husband's a baby. So you got the toddler feeding the baby. That's not a good idea. Kyle needs to feed the baby. So the spouse is the baby. The first one you hire is a toddler. The spouse is a baby. By the way, the parents with Kenzie, who's killing it. First thing I said is, what does your daddy do? Does he know what you're doing? Does he like this? She said, he's real interested. I said, good, let's call him right now. Called him. Guess what? That night I had dinner with him and hired him. Now he's my friend who's fired up under his daughter. Does that make sense? Like, that's called death. Like, I went from the daughter to the daddy like that. You go from the spouse to the husband like that. From the sister to her sister like that. Now we're working on her brother, which we would stack him under the daddy. He's a car salesman. Works a lot of hours, does okay. Making sense? Does this help? Yes. So Jane's biggest asset to me, don't get me wrong. She works 20 hours a day or whatever. You know, we got 2 dogs in the house. We got 2 dogs that stay outside in North Carolina. One of them needs surgery right now. She's got to coordinate surgery for that one of those dogs. I have assigned her to get a puppy in North Carolina, but we don't know how we're going to do that because we don't live there. But I want a puppy coming behind the other 2 dogs because I love dogs at my house. I also want one at our, you with me? Like, it's stuff she's doing. The air condition, we live on the ocean. You want to talk about creating problems in your life? Get a house on the ocean. It is, you can't imagine the destruction. It's just nonstop. I've got 3 televisions on the ocean. They're just nonstop having to be, corroded, replaced. And you say, well, you could just not have televisions outside. And I go, don't cuss me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like my televisions outside on the ocean. But it's just nonstop problems. Air conditioning gets corroded. It's just nonstop, right? And then we got 2 other houses that have nonstop problems. So she's full-time. But in the meantime, Karla, I bet she has text relationships with 100 people. She keeps up with birthdays. If somebody gets sick, if somebody dies, she's just the relationship glue, if that makes any sense. If you leave it, hey, I would say this. I'll do it to Nina. You know how Kyle is? If you leave it to him to build the relationships, you follow what I'm saying, Karla? If you leave it to him, we try. Kyle will try. Marcus will try. But Jane has way more feelings. We are black and white. Are they selling or not? Did they come to the convention or not? But Jane is more, and I'll direct. I like, baby, this couple, you got to dig in. You with me? Like I told her, Marcus and Karla, Ireland, period. We got to have coffee with him. Got to figure it out. Oh, look at there. Aww. Who is that? What's her name?
Hi.
Sophia.
What is it?
Sophia.
She's so pretty. Look at her. Hey, Sophia. Hey.
Oh, there she goes.
Okay. All right. So if you're single, if you're a girl, you're building a business, you get a guy going or a girl going, make sure you get somebody to call them and build a relationship besides you. You want to build that web as fast as possible. I always think about terrible stuff that I want to mimic. Like cancer is terrible. The reason it's terrible is because it don't just hit you here. Like getting cut in the arm, not so bad. Cancer will go around, up, and come up in your elbow. Go around, come up in your spine, come up in your brain. It networks like crazy. you want to be like that aspect of cancer. You want to network like crazy. Connect Kyle and Nina to Andy Riddle. Connect Kyle and Nina to Olga. Connect her to Jane. Connect Kyle to me. The more connections, you can't get it out. Does that make sense? It's a game. And then the faster, like if it metastasizes fast, you're in big trouble. If we metastasize fast, we have big success. It's the same strategy, but it's for good. I don't know if y'all ever heard this. Everything in the Bible works, even for crooks. So everything that crooks are doing that will work for us. We're just doing it for good. If it's, I've heard this. I'm gonna decide whether it's true or not. I might ask AI or something. Is manipulation if the intent is bad? It's influence if the intent is good. Same thing, right? You're influencing your kid to be a salesperson, Kyle. You're manipulating her into becoming a salesperson. To me, the intent makes it influence. But you're doing the same thing. You're putting incentives in place to get her to do the right thing. I paid my kids to read books when they was little. What is that? Manipulation? Is it influence? My wife calls it bribery. It's got bribed to read a book. Okay. Hopefully you heard some of that too, Deanna. Is you have no idea how powerful you are in this business to help Dan. Okay. Dan, talk about how you were not a sales guy, you were a pizza dough guy. I guess you were doing every job since you owned a pizzeria. And tell us how much money you make at a pizzeria. Like, do you make an insane amount of money off of those pizzas?
I'm sure some people do. We weren't those people. And so no, I mean, obviously, if you think about it, a pizza is what, $10, $12, and you got to pay staff, you got to pay rent, you got to pay for the equipment, the ingredients, the utilities, the insurance, the taxes. After the everything, maybe you make a couple pennies, and so then it's just But coming into this business, I labeled myself as an introvert. I labeled myself as somebody that wasn't a salesperson, right? That couldn't do it, and so I was defeating myself before I even started.
So when you owned a pizzeria, were you the owner that would come out there and to bullshit with everybody and talking and laughing and selling them?
Nope. I was in the back making pizzas, right? Which is ultimately why we failed, right? Because I was the guy that I should have been paying myself $8 an hour. Right?
Yes.
And
yes.
So, yeah.
So you wanted quality. You thought a quality pizza made a difference.
Right. No, ask Domino's.
Sales.
We had pizza, we had bad management.
Say again.
We had very good pizza, we just had bad management.
And y'all were the management.
We were 23 and we didn't know. We didn't know what we were doing.
You were the management.
We were both managed, and we were very young. We were 23-year-old, and it was terrible.
So how old are you now, Dan?
35.
So how long did you have when did you get rid of the pizza?
2017.
And what did you do after that?
So I worked at UPS for a little bit as a preloader, loading trucks overnight. And then at that point, that's when we met up with Adam Katz and found the Alliance.
Do you have a college degree?
So I went to a community college.
What did you study?
Air traffic control, aviation. Yeah, life's funny.
How about you, Deanna?
I have a degree in teaching English and French.
From
Russia.
From Russia.
Yeah, I have masters.
Carla, were you born in America? Where were you born?
I was born in Mexico.
Where in Mexico?
Torreon, Coahuila.
Oh yeah. Is that a little country town, or is that?
That's like northern Mexico.
Is it a country town, or?
Oh no, the state is Coahuila. The town is Torreon. really big city. But I didn't grow up there. My mom gave birth to me. 2 months later, I was in Los Angeles with my dad. He was already working in Los Angeles for like 5, 6 years.
Wow. So you grew up in Los Angeles?
Yes,
Do you even speak Spanish?
I do fluent.
Okay. Now, how'd that happen? Is Daddy Spanish speaking?
Yes, my dad and my mom are both Mexican. They both speak Spanish.
So, okay. So you grew up.
Yes.
Did you grow up speaking both?
Yes. So in LA, schools are bilingual.
Okay. So this might be the secret, is all three of y'all married somebody that was born in a different country. Now everybody's like, I can't do it. I'm just tired of standard old girl, the standard old guy I married. It really does have a lot to do. I love people that are from other countries because they are appreciative of the opportunity we have in the United States. And if I can find somebody, I'll say like me, that was born in the United States and raised in the United States, and they see the opportunity, oh my God, because they understand the colloquial, the sarcasm, they get all that stuff so much easier and quicker. The only question is, do they have a desire in their heart to get wealthy? Do they have a desire in their heart to serve others? Do they have the courage to get out there and rip some heads off? Because if you can find somebody that's born here and understands here and loves here, that's good too. But if I had 100 people that are born here, I feel like I might get 3 that are like that. But if I get 100 people born in Russia, I feel like it's more like 30 or 40 out of 100 would want to do something, or Mexico, or Germany. It seems like a higher percentage of them want to do something. Not all of them. I didn't say that, but a higher percentage. Seems like that to me. Have you noticed that, Marcus? Do you believe that?
Yeah, I feel like they're not afraid to take risk because it was a risk to get here. It's different, and so they're okay with being uncomfortable, and they're okay with doing the things that it takes to be uncomfortable. I feel like I agree with you, Andy, in that regards.
Dan, you think so?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's, especially like before she became a citizen, there was no safety net. There was no welfare. There was no, it's, hey, we're going to make it or not. And I think that added pressure and shapes us as people. And I think Americans, myself included, get too complacent sometimes.
So all right. So I want a sincere question from each of you to me. Okay. So you're thinking, I want a question. So I'm gonna go with Dan, then I'm gonna go Karla, then I'm gonna go Kyle. Okay. But I just can't express to y'all how hard I recruit. No kidding, 2 hours I'm on the phone talking about the American economy, housing market, stock market, treasury bonds, munis, because, now I'm a partner and I've got this insane stack of cash. What do I do with it? But I'm getting all kinds of texts. So as soon as I get off the phone, I immediately call this person that said, hey, it looks like what y'all do is interesting. What is it? What's your phone number? Immediately, what's your phone number? By the way, social media recruiting, get their phone number. Don't try to DM recruit. Don't try to direct message. Don't try to get their phone number ASAP. If they won't give you a phone number, tell them whatever you got to tell them, but get your phone number. Like it's my number one thing, right? So this person, I'm going you've got to jump on. First of all, it's a lady. I let her hear me recruit somebody. I go, here's what I do. If you don't like this, you're not going to like this game. And she's like, I hung up with a person. They're fired up. And she goes, I like it. I go, okay, can you do it? Yeah, I think I can do it. I'm young, but I can learn it. So then I go, all right, good. You got to talk to somebody else on my staff and jump on this call at 12:30. So I'm messaging here, watching. Can you see where it says, are you watching? And it says, I am.
Yeah.
And then look down here below. these people's stories. I can make this happen for me, but I'm texting while I'm doing the show. So like she's watching, I'm texting, and as she's seeing her text, I'm just telling you, I'm aggressively getting after it. And by the way, my son is listening to this. Son, I'm aggressively after it. You with me? Like some football players, you see a running back and he tries to get every inch. And then the next guy, the first person that tackles him, he goes down. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like they don't look like they're trying as hard to get a yard, or they don't look like they're trying as hard to block. I like seeing them bloody and dirt and crying and just, jersey ripped off. You with me? It's kind of the same way when it comes to me and recruiting. I'm just like scratching to get every inch and every premium. Is this making sense? Like, do you feel, so some of it you might not know what to do, but if it's how do you do it, I can talk to you about it. But a lot of what I look for is the attitude of just whatever you got to do. Driving to see people, putting them in a car with you, showing them how to sell. If I can't do it, I'm begging somebody else. Oh, speaking of begging, y'all know who Landon is? Landon Jones, who manages Revisor. He comes to our meetings.
I do,
basically, he's on the back end of Chris Norris and Amber. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. If you got his phone number, text him and say, I got you if you're in the house. Like if he's in the house getting a check. Because he's actually going to houses to see what we do. And he's actually training a young guy that just graduated University of Cleveland. I think that's right. University.
What's Landon's last name? Is it Meadows?
Jones.
Okay, I don't have his number.
I'm gonna send it to you, but I'll send it to all three of y'all. But I want y'all to say I'm available, because you need to be friends with this guy, because he's smart as everything when it comes to money. You with me? Like, he is one of the smartest people I've ever met. Money. I'm the make money, but he's the manage money. Does that make sense? I know how to make it. I think good as anybody I've ever met. Managing it and understanding T-bonds, treasury bonds, municipal, stock market, all that stuff, smart as everything. And he runs the back end. Him and Ethan run the back end of our registered investment advisor. Okay? So you want to help him to become friends. You help him, which makes him like you, and then he owes you, so to speak. You with me?
Right.
He'll do anything for you without you. You don't have to do anything for him, but it would make it more fun if you've actually done something for him, if you know what I mean. Okay, so part of the point is how I'm just relentless. Get her on a call. Get him on a call. Get him in class. Get somebody underneath them. It's just like this brutal if you can. What are you grinning at, Nina? Unmute and tell me, what are you grinning at? I like him once again.
Well, I just like to smile,
You make her smile, Andy.
No, she's thinking something.
Oh yeah, she's thinking a lot, man.
What are you thinking, Nina?
Yeah, I like what you said. Then he owes us.
You like that? Hey, you know how y'all three are so, like, you're gonna get a check when you're in a house, right? You're gonna get a check. You're gonna touch them the right time. You're going to smile at the right time. You're going to frown at the right time. Your eyes are going to go at the right time. You're going to cry if you need to. Tears. I can see Marcus in there, tears coming down. My daddy died. Right? Right?
Yeah.
Am I nailing
it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Think about the same concept when it comes to building. You sell to eat, you build to live. If you can be so eyes move, every single motion gets the agent that you hired making six figure. You get them making six figure. You with me? You're going to make six figure, they fired up. But if you don't get them making six figure, then you didn't get them making six figure. You failed. It's like if you don't get a check in the house, you failed. If I don't get you making six figures, I failed. I don't want to fail. So I'm doing everything I can to get that person up and running, whether it be depth, whether it be width, whether it be sales. Tracking?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And at the same time, are y'all thinking about a question? Who did I say? Dan first?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I guess my question is, when you're you get people plugged in, you recruited some people, and obviously what we always talk about is work where you're needed, not where you're wanted.
True that.
And in my experience, it feels to maybe it's just outside my comfort zone to work where I'm needed and not where I'm wanted.
100%. 100%.
How do you? I guess the question is, how do you not lose the people that are the aces, they're the winners, but maybe emotionally you don't feel like they're connected, or you don't have that same, because obviously the people that want to talk to you, they're easy to talk to. They're gonna, they'll call you 10 times a day complaining about something, right? But the ones that we should be dealing with, it's kind of like, how do we not lose them? Or I don't know if I'm asking the right question, but
you're trying.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Deanna, do you want to try to ask that question that he's asking? Kind of help me understand what he's asking.
Basically, I think he's asking how not to lose a good person if we sometimes feel like we cannot be good enough for them, to train them, and how not to lose them, how not to lose their interest, how not to lose, how to decide if they're worth putting so much effort in and getting them to be an ace, if you will, or they're not an ace, basically. Like it's weird because we have people now that we are like, oh, they're so good, and then they're not, and vice versa. They're so bad, and they're good. You're like, what?
Yeah, it's the football coach could ask me the same thing. So Albright, I got this kid. I thought he was going to be a great running back because he was so good in high school, but when he comes into the D1, he's terrible. How do I not get the wrong kids? How do I pick the kids that are going to be great in D1 football? Okay, so you think about it. What advice would you give Coach Dorn? Kevin Keats. He got this kid. He's 7'3", probably weighs 112 pounds, right? He's 7'3". That's a great basketball player. What's the problem? He's 112 pounds. So how's that a problem? I go like, can't you picture the problem? It's like a normal guy 6'9" is 290 or 250. He's 112. See the problem? You see what I'm saying? Like, but he still's like, I'm gonna take a chance. So it's the same way with, are you going to take a chance on that person or you not take a chance? So what you become, Deanna, is very judgmental. I am so judgmental on everything. Looks, attitude, mom and daddy, past history, shoes they're wearing, how stupid they look on Facebook, how great they look on Facebook, how good they look on Instagram. Everything. Judgmental as everything. And people say, you shouldn't be judgmental. How you going to be a football coach and not be judgmental? You're going to take every ding-dong head? How about this? I'll give you exactly that. I know the question he's asking. I've got a guy, listen to this, Dan. He said, you got to get my son on the football team. He'd die to be on that team. He loves the team. He loves Wolfpack, bleeds Wolfpack red. I'm like, hey, everybody bleeds red. That's not an accomplishment. But, it's just like, who cares how much he loves NC State? Does he have any talent? Does that make sense? You help who needs to be recruited to NC State, not who wants to be recruited to NC State. You help who needs to build this business, not wants to. Needs means they're super talented. Okay, so like, think about this. Brandon Manley, one of the sharpest, coolest dudes I've ever met, okay, is making 6 figures on his job. Okay? I think he's up to like 120. Last year he made 160,000 on his job, W-2. And I'm saying, no go. But I'm not in his face. I'm just trying to be the nicest father-in-law that I can be, most business around him, so that I want him in. And I have, you see what I'm saying? Like I need him, meaning he's going to be good when I get him. Versus I have people that come to this one person. I mean, just think about her. She comes to every meeting. And when she sees me, she comes right and hugs me. She talks to me. She texts me. She'll talk to me hours about this business. What do you think she's not doing, Dan?
It's not making phone calls.
Correct. What else?
Not listening to what you're saying.
No.
Not recruiting. Not doing anything that we do.
Right. But does that make sense? So that's an easy one to say that's not the person you want to talk to, right? And then there's people that are just killing it. You know, if you hire Nina, she's calling you, she's writing $20,000 a month, $30,000, you know to take that phone call, right? So now it's just the people in between that you got to, these are the ones you're talking about, right? You know when they're absolutely dumb, and you know when they're absolutely awesome. Well, here's where the money is. Watch this. There's people that are never going to buy an insurance policy from you, right? And there's people that are going to buy it from anybody that walks in the door. They're going to buy lay downs, and people are never going to buy it. Here's where the money is, right? Same thing as selling. How do you get those people that are tougher to decide? But this person in the middle, you try hard enough, but eventually you just leave. You're like, they're calling the cops. I'm out of here. Right? Have any of y'all had the cops called on you? Kyle? You ain't pushing hard enough. You with me? If people, you ever made anybody cry in the home? Raise your hand. If you've never made anybody cry, you're not pushing hard enough. You with me? Some people, they talk monotone and never get a check. I tell people that can cry. Start talking about, I guarantee you get Carla in there talking about her daddy, she's going to be crying. Carla, you get a check. You with me? I ain't trying to make light of it. I'm just telling you, you got to get people to feel it and move that check. Agents, Dan, Adam has been trying to get you to feel it and become who you've become. You are not a definite. You are a middle one. You are a middle one. But here's what he saw. That girl beside you is bad to the bone. And if she picks you, then we're picking you. Does that make sense? Like, we like you, but she picked you. All right, let's go. So does that make sense? So I would say the same thing about you, Harry. I'm going like, Nina, and she's like, I'm picking him. All right, I'm in. Does that make sense? So now we believe in you. So does that make, Dan, is this helping you at all?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. You ran a pizzeria. You made pizzas. You stayed married. You didn't make money. You worked at UPS and you put trucks on the back, stuff on the back of the truck. You don't live with your mom and daddy in the basement. No offense if anybody lives in the basement. I don't care. But your history says you're a worker. We need workers. And she's got, she had dynamic personality day one. You were more monotone. You have become that person that you need to become. True. Am I speaking right? So Nina, if you talk to her, you hear her story, you want to hire her because you know she's a fighter and a winner. Marcus, his daddy's a preacher. He's a preacher. He married Karla. I'm discriminating versus some of the people in your group, Nina. Like when I'm looking around, I'm not talking to this one. I'm not talking to that one. I am talking to this one. That makes sense? If you notice, I'm interviewing all the time too. Like, did you have a master's degree and then you worked on the ship, or did you work on the ship and then you got your master's degree? Yeah, I saved up enough money. Oh, great. She's a good money manager to pay for her master's degree. Megan Wood saved up enough money as a waitress to buy her house. Single mommy saves up money to buy a house. That's how she got in this business, because she spilled out a lead. You see how judgmental I am, Dan? By the way, I know all the bad stuff about Nina and you and Megan, but the good stuff by far outweighs it. I have people that after talking to them 30 minutes, I got 19 bad things, one good thing. The one good thing is they want it. What good is that? You said, well, you can't judge people and tell them they won't do it. I can judge where I put my time. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah.
Question. I know I could keep talking for another hour and a half about it. Is there any follow-up question to that, like along those lines, Dan?
No, I think that makes perfect sense, and I know it's easier said than done, I'm sure, but it's something we just got to practice, and like I say, get out of our comfort zone and just be disciplined.
Have you seen a series of unfortunate events? It's a movie, and it's just bad thing after bad thing after bad thing are happening to these people.
I have not, but we will watch it.
Seriously, you always, I don't know about y'all, but we're always looking for a good movie that's entertaining, and it's a good movie. Am I saying it right, guys? Y'all know it? I think you can Google it. What is it?
I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Have you not watched it, Marcus? You and Carla would enjoy it.
What is it?
Look it up, Dan. Can you look, Google a series of unfortunate events movie? I would tell you this: a person that has unfortunate events all their life is probably going to have more. A person that has become successful in a lot of different things and fought through it, they're probably going to have more things that they fight through and do. Does that make sense? Like, one of the things I like people that went to big colleges where you're just a number is because it's hard when you're just a number. Like, community college is wonderful. They treat you nice. They love on you. They actually teach you stuff. It's learn something. But you're not just a number. When you're just a number, it's harder. So I like people that survived the hardship. Did you look it up? Is it listed?
Yeah, it's called Lemony Snicket's, a series of unfortunate events.
That's it, Lemony Snicket's. I'm telling you, it's hilarious, but something bad's going to happen. So if I deal with somebody, bad thing, I'm like, nah. I'd said that to somebody accidentally, and the upline was really mad at me because they're like, why did you say it to us? I shouldn't have said it. Because they were telling me all the bad stuff, and I was like, don't come to our convention. I shouldn't have said that, but that's what I said. Don't come. And the upline was mad because I was like, they're like, you're supposed to be nice and help me. And I said, yeah, I know, but all that stuff, it definitely ain't going to casino with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me somebody with a rabbit foot up the rear end. That's what I'm looking for. Lemony Snicket is the opposite. Question, who did I say? Carla?
Yeah. Yes.
My question?
You want to pass for a second? We can go to Kyle.
No, she's ready. She's ready.
Okay.
I do have a question. This has been one of our greatest challenges for us. There's different levels to our business. You are in the beginning trying to, figure it out, how to book appointments, how to be a housewife, how to support your husband, how to keep it all together. And as you progress and you grow in your business, you get, you start seeing results. You start seeing the money coming. You start, I helped Marcus for several years in admin. And now he has staff. So the best thing for him to do right now is to be recruiting. And obviously sales is important as well. A lot of our struggles is that I need to be careful to not be his manager, to not be his boss. It's very easy to be on the TWCs. It's like, you hear what they're saying? Why don't you just do that? And I love that he's talking to you lately, because you and I are on the same page. You've been saying a lot of things that I've been telling him. I'm like, you see, Marcus, why do you listen to Andy, not me? Like, I've been telling you this. But my question is, he has amazing staff, very efficient, very well organized, something that has helped him just to grow. My biggest thing is like, how can we use that staff as a machine? And I've been telling Marcus, like, we need someone who is going to, I tell him my vision, our visions are totally different. But to me, my vision is, let's get your staff to start training the way they help you. Let's help them help agents and use them more as a, like, your recruiting, what is it? Like a recruiting machine. But I feel like I'm trying to be nice to you.
Just ask the question.
But I'm just trying to see, how can I get him to get his staff to help him recruit? Because you have your staff to help you in areas where you just need more time. It's like he has time to make dials. He's doing that very well. He's getting his results. He's selling like crazy. This is going to be probably his biggest month ever here in April. But I would like to see what we've been talking about for 11 years. I want to see the growth. I want to see the recruiting happen. So now that you and I have been talking the same language to Marcus, because we've been saying the same thing, how can we make that happen? I'm pretty sure there's people in here who are like dealing with the same thing. Like, how do you get it to level up, That makes sense. I said a lot.
How about you just text me what to tell him and then I'll tell him,
Like, Jane.
All ears.
What, Andy?
Just text me, say, hey, Andy, here's what you need to tell him. And I'll call him. I said, Marcus, I've been thinking about you. Hey, I heard 2 questions. Did you hear 2 questions, Dan Mirdo? What was the 2 questions? You didn't hear 2?
Maybe. Let me
What
see.
do you think the 2 questions she asked? Should I ask a girl?
Yes.
She asked basically what to do to go on the next level, and how to organize everything the way that staff does more. So
Yeah,
staff is more professional.
That's not one of the questions.
Maybe was it how to motivate Marcus?
I thought she said something like how not to be a boss. I don't know. I heard that.
I
I don't know.
don't
Did you
think
hear
it's
that?
a problem to be a boss. I think it's exactly what you should be.
Marcus is like, no. Did you hear that? She does not have a problem being a boss. So there you go. So those are really good questions. There's always, like what I just told Dan about how to decide who to work with and not. I've said that to him and at seminars over and over and over and over and over again. But now Dan's hearing it from a different position than he heard it 6 months ago. So a lot of things I'm saying to Marcus now, it's not like I haven't told him before, but he's listening to it from a different position in life, financially, age-wise, maturity-wise. He's at a different time. So a lot of it is me saying the same thing over and over again. And they say when the student arrives, the master shows up. But if the student's not there, the master don't need to be there. So a lot of it, Dan, the people that I judge as not good, they're in the convention and then they become great. And I'm like, God, I'm surprised they did good. But I might not spend as much one-on-one time with them. But I'll talk to everybody. I mean, I hope we have 3,000 people watching this, and people that are judged as Lemony Snicket's series of bad events, they're sitting there going like, I know my life has been a disaster, but I'm going to turn it around. And you know what I challenge them to do? Turn it around. Show up doing something as opposed to showing up failing. Show up failing, it's just another unfortunate event. You know what I mean? Their history's been failure, and now they're failing here. So if you've had failure, your job is to turn around. Well, I can't do it if you don't help me. What are you talking about? Look at the end of your arms. That's where the help is. Let's go. But as you start selling and recruiting and have problems, now I'm willing to talk to you. In other words, If you're a parked car, I'm not going to bark at it. Dogs don't bark at parked cars. Does that make sense? All right, so does that make sense, Carla? The more he does, the more I bark when the student shows up. So the more you, Jane, talk, me, you, Jane talk, me, you, Marcus talk, communication, and then there's the situation called communication. I'm about 99% sure John Maxwell just came out the 16 irrefutable laws of communication. I was like, oh, God, I got to buy that book because communication is huge, Carla. Here's what I would say. Let's talk to Andy. Let's talk to Jane. For you and Harry and Nina, I would say let's talk to Andy Riddle, right? Or let's talk to Andy Albright if he's available, but Riddle's going to be more available for you, and probably more than that available is going to be Jason and Olga. Does that make sense? But Jason and Olga should absolutely line up with Riddle, and Riddle should line up with me. We should be a straight line doing the exact same thing. And it's just like with your parents. It's just like with anybody. You watch what they do good, do that. You watch what they're doing that's not right, don't do that. Make sense, Carla? So, and as far as not being a boss, when you figure that out,
Be careful.
She's with you, Carla. She's wanting to tell me. What's that, Marcus?
I said, be careful. She's watching.
I know. I always got to remember she's watching. My attorney suggested I sleep with one eye open. That's a good question, Carla. I mean, I guess the question could be phrased like this: how do we keep our relationship strong while I have opinions? And it's that's the here's the way we've divided, and it'd be interesting to hear Jane. She might come running up here and say it, but she does make this. There she is. She can come up here. You go. So it's interesting, the delay. So she is she, like the kids, when she says the kids are going to private school, I was like, why? No, first of all, she said they're going to public school. I was like, why? Don't you want to go to public school? Private school? She says, no, we're going to go to public school. I was like, okay. Like, I think they should go to private school, get a great lesson. But here's what happened is when she decided they had enough of public school and she wanted to go private, she made that decision. And then the clothes they wear, she makes that decision. But who I invite to dinner, 99.99, I invite who goes to dinner with us, Carla. Like, and she'll disagree sometimes. She'll say, I think that person shouldn't. I'm like, baby, I love you, but we have reasons that person's coming. I can explain it to you later, but not right now. We're in the middle of picking people. Pick. You with me? It's very hard. If she has to let it go, and I have to let it go. That makes sense? Sometimes she says, I think you ought to take that person. I go, God, I forgot about her. You're right. He's out. She's in. But 99% of the time, I'm like, I know. I thought about that, but I'm not doing it. Or terminating. Somebody's a really good friend that works for us and a friend of hers. And I go, baby, I haven't fired this person. Why? Boom, boom, boom. And she's like, God, I hate that. She don't say, God, you can't. It's God, I hate that, which is a different reaction than you can't. You know, it's, and I appreciate how much she has to swallow, overcome, ignore. It's life. Look, life is hard. And if you are stupid, it gets harder. That makes sense. Like we said, it can't be worse. Oh, yeah, it can get worse. It's just, so I have to, I get input when it comes to what the kids wear, input on situations, but I don't get the dictatorial rights. She's got the dictatorial rights, veto power, if you will.
So what I hear you saying, Andy, is Jane runs the house and you run the business.
It's a very good oversimplification. But, you know, like Brian Adams, I think he's a multi-billionaire, right? And I have his text number, and I can call him and talk to him and sit down with him, but I cannot tell that son gun what to do. He's the nicest person in the world. And you tell him what to do, he'll say, okay, but he does what he wants. That's how he got to where he is. But I get input. So Jane has input from me. I have the opportunity for input. Jane sleeps with me. She takes me to dinner, goes to dinner with me. She's walking around here. She has input. If she ever thinks that input is worthless, we're in trouble. Sometimes she says, you never listen to me. I go, yeah, but I heard you. At least you got to tell me. You failed in selling me on your idea. You failed. I didn't go with your idea. But like, there are times I go with her idea. Does that make any sense, Karla?
It does.
Oh. Do y'all use chat GPT?
What's that?
Oh, y'all gonna freak out. Because kids know about it, not old people like us. It's the most insane artificial intelligence you've ever seen in your life, Marcus. It's insane. So here's what I typed in. I said, let me see if I can, I'm not sure if I can pull it up, but it's unbelievable. I can't. I said, please tell me 5 different ways that I can influence my husband and get him to do what I want him to do. And it gave Jane 5 reasons, 5 ways to do that in 2 seconds. And she read all 5 of them and she looked at me. I said, I approve of all 5. Did you hear what I said?
So you asked Google, or like you just had...
Dude, Google ain't in the realm. Google is like no. I'll tell you about it. It's artificial intelligence on superpower. It is out of control. The 5 things that went brrrr, it gave her 5 ways to influence and change my mind and keep my attention. And I read all 5 of them. I looked at her and she just went, oh my God, this is scary. I said, yeah, it's frightening. Do those 5. I'll send you those 5. No, I'm not kidding. It is, Marcus, it's eliminating jobs like crazy. It is the future.
What is it? What is it? Is it an app?
No, it's artificial intelligence, bro. It's like talking to a robot.
What?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
where's the robot at? Is it on my phone? Is it on the phone?
It's the universe,
Search.
dude. It's I can't. It's Marcus. It's insane. If you said, dude, I told it. I said, all right, give me chapter 1 of this book in lesson form. Brr, 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 brr. This is the lesson. This is a 30-minute lesson for you. It's nuts. I didn't call you to sell you on this. I'm selling you on ZipRecruiter and Indeed.
But it'll help write you a post on ZipRecruiter.
My point, if you say, give me an exciting advertisement that mentions direct sales. Oh, one thing I asked it, I said, tell me 10 reasons people should buy more leads if they're salespeople. And it went, brrr. All 10 of them were unbelievable.
You got to put me up on game in Ireland because this is new to me, but I definitely want to. I want to.
The kids are all on it. The kids are all on it. Think about this, Marcus. If you said, give me a summary of George Washington and how he managed the country in less than 1,000 words, and it's not plagiarized.
What?
Yeah. And then if Carla asks the same question, it'll give the answer again, and it's not plagiarism.
Yeah, I got a quick thing.
Teachers are freaking the puck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got for me, I'm sorry, I got a meeting with Adriel School, and I got 5 minutes.
I'm over. I'm 10 minutes overtime. I'm going to get some overtime for this. Okay, those 5 things I will. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go 5 more minutes, then we're done. If people got to leave, they got to leave. Who did I say? Harry, you got a question?
Yeah, I got a question for you, Andy. So high level, you got a new recruit. They need to do the business. They don't want to do it. They need to do it. I love what you were touching on building relationships quick, connecting with the spouse. So give me your best tips and tricks. First, getting someone in the business with you. How are you connecting with the spouse? How fast? Just really getting them plugged in. What do you do? What do you say?
Okay,
I want Andy
so first of all, people needing to build a business is not a real good reason to work with them. Okay. So if they need to build the business, I'm immediately going to talk to the spouse because I'm trying to get what? Depth. Mm-hmm. So let's say Dan is the guy that needs it because he's broke and he's whatever, got problems. So I talk to him and I'm like, you married? It's like, yeah, Deanna, she's cool. You'll like her. Good. Give me her number or can you get her on the phone? Puts her on the phone. Hey, Deanna, I like your husband, Dan. I just said her name. I like your husband. And then I say, that accent, do you speak other languages? She says, yeah. Deanna, what other languages do you speak?
Russian.
Any others?
Yeah, I speak French and I can understand maybe like Turkish a little bit.
Okay, so Turkish, French, German, English.
No German.
So I went from a guy who needs it, but he's not that smart, to a spouse who's that. Now, this is not true of Dan. Dan's a sharp guy, wants the business, don't need it. He could get a job anywhere making 50 grand, 75 grand, no problem. Wants the business. But let's say he just needs it. I'm immediately trying to get his spouse. Okay. So if I did you, Kyle, I would talk the same thing. What if I'm talking to Nina and she's just a needy person, broke, ain't got, broke relationships, blah, blah, blah. And then she connects me with you. I'm going to say, Kyle, what do you do? What do you like to do? What's one of your favorite hobbies, Kyle? What is one of your favorite hobbies?
I like playing poker.
Exactly. See, I know you're going to say that. You say that, I go, I like craps. I like poker. Here's my problem with poker. I bet like crazy when I should not bet because I want to win every hand and I don't have the patience. Do you have the patience to fold?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me, am I connecting with you or not?
Yeah.
Because I find out, what's your favorite job ever? Besides this business, because let's pretend you don't know this business. What's your favorite job ever?
Restaurant management.
Oh, man. I want to own a restaurant so bad. When I have stupid money, I'm going to drop a couple million on a steakhouse, and it's going to run like mafia type run, dark, thick steaks, stupid. Yeah. Don't that sound cool?
Yeah.
Am I connecting with you?
Absolutely.
So I am going to, whatever you are, I'm going to connect in your language. Girl says she speaks 4 languages. Like, oh my God, where were you born? Oh my God, how did you learn these languages? Where did you go to school? I'm going to be on them like a duck on a June bug, like white on rice, like 2 coats of paint. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And if they're just like the spouse and they're needy, I'm trying to find somebody else. You with me? I want one of them to bow up. One of them to say, one of them to be like y'all 6. Any one of y'all 6 I'll take. Does that make sense? So the daddy might be stronger, the brother might be stronger, the sister might. Now, what if you find a great person like Dan? We're looking for a great person under Dan. If he's a terrible person, we're looking for a person under him. If he's a great person, I'm talking to the spouse. So no matter what, I'm talking to the spouses, mamas, and daddies, and brothers. Fast. Does that help?
Yeah.
All right, we are over time. I'm screwing up people's 15 minutes of their life. Or maybe this 15 minutes was the key to the whole deadgum business. Hey, guys, listen. We go into Ireland. I got to go start packing. We got to pack. Y'all got your green? All your green shoes, green jacket, green hat, green ring. We're going to have a blast. I can't wait. And for everybody else out there, if you're not going, please, God, kill it this week while we're gone, or this next 10 days, so you can go with us to New Zealand. It'll be a different world next year for you. All right?
That's right.
Thank y'all so much.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Andy.
it. Oh, let me tell y'all one last thing. There's a new thing on the Arc that if you have debt for some reason, you can go on it, click on it, and pay with a credit card. So now You get all your check. Like some people, I know it's awesome. Ask Robbie or Caitlin. It's unbelievable. If somebody has some reason they need to pay off debt, you just click on this and pay it off by credit card. You get all your points. Your cash flow continues. It don't slow down your money. It's unbelievable. And if you downline have debt, lead debt or anything like that, it's click and pay. It's so simple. Robbie Kraft and team outdone themselves. All right. Later.
Love it.